You are now tuned in to the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, where we will be discussing actual audio and visual clips captured during the team's investigations. Hear firsthand eyewitness accounts from fellow team members and special guests. Now smash that like, subscribe, and follow button, and let's get ready to welcome team leader and your host, Eric Vanderlaan, and tech specialist and co-host, Mike Del Coro.
Happy Monday, everybody. That's right, 2 for 2. We got Mike here, so
Here I am.
I'm Eric Vanderlaan, your host of the War Party Paranormal Show and team leader of a War Party Paranormal Research Team. And I got my good buddy feeling all good about himself now.
That's right. Yep, 100%. And my name is Mike Del Coro. I am an investigator and case manager with War Party Paranormal and your co-host for the War Party Paranormal Radio Show. And we got a great show for you guys tonight. And I'm going to let Eric tell you what we're getting into.
He's already bitching about not investigating.
I know. Like I'm ready.
Right away.
I'm itching.
Yeah,
to get out there.
Well, you had the opopportunity last Saturday. We were talking to Scotty in the portal.
That's what I heard. I still just wasn't there yet, man. I was 97%, but I'm ready to go now.
All right, I'm gonna whoop your ass into shape.
All right.
Well, we got a special guest. I'm real happy. Finally, we got her on the show. Good friend of ours. We actually investigated with her as well. We have Katie McVay from Tamerlane Media. Amazing person and good friend. And Mike, I got a little intro for her. You want to see it?
I sure do. Let's check it out.
Bam. So yeah, right when we started kicking off spooky season, we met Katie at the Bleckley County Jail. Got to investigate with her. She came over with Josh and Mike Angus, one of our good buddies, over to the TIFF Theater where we played our episode there. And Josh,
yeah, that was actually really, really cool to see. To see one of our own episodes up on the big screen of the theater, and then watch a episode that we filmed in a haunted theater on the theater. Of the same place.
It was really cool.
It was really cool.
Yep, and you missed the last event because you were sick. But I got your passes. They're pretty cool looking, so I'm gonna give them to you next time I see you. At Flippers, they played the Gold Coast Railroad Museum.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see the crowd's reaction. So
very, very neat.
Without further ado, let's bring on Katie.
All right. Hey, welcome.
Hey, gentlemen. How are you?
We're doing fantastical.
Fantastical.
There you go.
I love it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, you bet. I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, and you're just like when we met you at the jail, it was like we all clicked, like the whole group. It was just so great, like Josh and Mike.
You've been friends forever.
And you is just we all have like the same style of investigating too. So it was like we all were just meshed right in. It was great.
Yeah. I was a little nervous when I first walked in to the diner or where we had dinner, and I sat down and I was like, uh-oh. Because I didn't know you guys. And I was like, I sat next to Mike and across from Eric, and I was like, and then literally boom, within 10 minutes. Yeah, we were friends. So
yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
It was
Eric
awesome.
can wolf down some food. I tell you that. No, I'm
He did wolf down that plate of Mexican food, that's for sure.
Yeah, that
And
was a good place actually.
Franny
Food
can
was
put down some margaritas, right?
good.
Yep. Hey, Franny.
So just just about yourself, like a little bit, for our guest, tell us what your media company is and kind of what you do.
Yeah,
You got
sure.
a lot going on.
I do.
You got it going
So
on, girl.
I got a lot going on. Too much going on. Well, no, not maybe not enough. I don't know. So Tamerlane is a Poe reference. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Poe, I'm Edgar Allan Poe geek. So I named the company after a Poe book of poems that he wrote forever ago. So through my company, I basically publish books, I host ghost hunts, and I do energy work like Reiki and tarot card reading. So those three things make up pretty much what my company Tamerlane does. And
you're a paranormal investigator.
And I'm a paranormal investigator, yeah. So and I host events through the company, and I'm a ghost hunting fiend, and I love it.
I know you drove all the way down from Philadelphia, right? I mean, for Pennsylvania.
I did, yeah. Outside, I'm from outside Philadelphia, tiny little town called Pottstown. Probably nobody's heard of it. That's okay. I always just tell people I'm from Philly. And yeah, that was a 13-hour haul, but it was worth it because, guys, we had a great, that night was.
It was really
wild.
It was wild. It was great. It was a great night.
That Delco experiment.
Yeah, that was nuts, right?
That was nuts.
I can't remember now. I can't remember the name of the studio that they were talking about, but
Capricorn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There it is.
That was the magic word of the night.
The magic word of the night. Yeah, I probably will never forget that. Every now and again, I recorded that. Of all, I just picked up my camera. I was prompted to record it, and out of her mouth came Capricorn. And every now and again, I look at that video, and it's still wild. Still blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, so just for the guests, that are listening,
God damn it, Mike, tell them what happened.
You want me to tell them, or you want to tell them? You can tell them.
Well, we were all downstairs, and I believe it was me, Katie, Franny, and Josh, and Michael, I think was there too. We were downstairs talking about I don't know, I forgot, but like ghost stuff.
Yeah.
and I was talking about places he investigate in South Georgia, and he was talking about the music studio Capricorn. So, Mike, you were upstairs,
Capricorn
right?
Records, right?
Right, and you were upstairs doing the Delco, right?
Yeah, we had one of the guests doing it.
Yep, and I believe, and I guess you guys can throw in your comments, but Katie went up there like right after our conversation, and I believe the first thing you heard was Capricorn.
Yeah, I was down. Yeah, it was crazy. I was downstairs. Just to add to this story, I was sitting on the couch and just kind of shooting the breeze with you guys, and felt prompted to get off the couch at that moment, go upstairs. And had I not gotten off the couch when I did, if I had delayed by 10 seconds, I would have missed that girl. She was in the midst of doing the Delco experiment. And if I had walked up there 10 seconds later, I would have missed her saying Capricorn. And I whipped my phone out and recorded her, and boom. Yes. First thing out of her mouth, Capricorn. And it just blew my mind.
You know what? I think she was waiting for you to, or the spirit that was communicating with her was waiting for you to come up there. So I think if it were you, would have been 10 minutes, an hour late. That Capricorn would have came out. It's just like, I don't know.
I'm upstairs doing the experiment with her, and I had no idea what that word meant to anything. Like, I didn't know there was any kind of relevance to anything until Katie came up and heard it, and then she kind of told us, "Hey, downstairs we were just talking about Capricorn Records." Yeah. So it was really odd, to have that happen. And like some of these things, it's just too weird to be a coincidence, right? Like, what are the odds that you guys are downstairs in a totally different area talking about this, and then it comes out of her mouth upstairs with headphones and basically, the goggles on. So yeah, very, very odd, very neat.
Yeah. Yeah. And each of us were missing half the story. I was missing what was going on upstairs. Mike, you were missing what was going on downstairs. Mm-hmm. And I started to record it. First thing out of her mouth was Capricorn. And I actually had to turn my phone off because I started, all these 4-letter words started coming out of my mouth. I was like, holy beep. And Mike, you looked at me and you're like, what's happening? And then I told you the story, and then you told me what you guys were talking about. You were asking the spirits can you see us? Are you on some other plane? Like that, those kinds of
Mhm.
questions. And it just, once we shared stories, it clicked and we were like, holy crap. It
It
was
was
incredible.
But
very, very
before
neat.
that, it was quiet the whole night. Michael was like, I don't know, it's a quiet night. Maybe that's going to happen. And like right after he said that, things just started hopping. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was pretty busy in that portal room after that.
Yeah,
So-
I kept getting drawn to that room as well. I kind of branched off for a little while. I went downstairs and through the cells and stopped in a few of the cells and just kind of sat where by myself, like when there was nobody really around down there. And I just kept getting kind of drawn back up into that room,
Mhm.
something about that room up there that you can, to me anyway, it kind of, I felt like that pull to that area.
Yeah.
But so you have some events coming up, anything lined up in the near future or anything of that nature?
I do. I have visuals because I'm usually terrible when I'm like live on the air. I can talk, but then when somebody like asks me, what do you got going on? I like blank out. So I actually have like visuals that I had to.
You got your calendar ready. You're
I've got
prepared.
my calendar ready of
I'm the
things that
same way.
I have to.
I rely on him for the dates and stuff. I can't
And I
remember.
fail
Oh, do
them.
you?
No.
That's
One
funny.
person to rely on. Tell you that right now.
Yeah. You
Mhm.
got to rely on all kinds of stuff, including
We got-
people. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But we're doing something right. We got some kind of organizational skills.
yeah, you guys just told me you were finishing season 3 or
we're getting real close to finishing filming for season 3 that's coming out in 2025.
Hear that, people?
That's
Yeah.
Catch
awesome.
up on season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Catch up, people. You got
100
lots to catch
miles
up on.
marathon.
Right.
Yeah.
Now's the time.
Yeah. So I guess I'm really taking the rest of the year off. I don't really have much planned for 2024. I'm in like planning, like a lot of people, I'm in planning mode for 2025. So really the next thing I got going on is I have a ghost hunt scheduled with Dustin Perry on January 11th of 2025 at a location near me and near Pottstown, Pennsylvania, where I'm at, January 11th. So I have that going on. And then I have something lined up for March. I have a Paracon close to me called the Bucks County Paranormal Convention in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. That's near me. That's in March.
Very cool.
And then I, like you guys, I tend lots of stuff too as a non-vendor just to go and hang out and see people and hang out with friends too. So, and the Paranormal Rock Down, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
No.
That's in Broadhead, Wisconsin. That's in, let me review my notes, July. So that's Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin. So I'm looking forward to, I'm a vendor for that. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Cool.
Michael Angus actually just posted something about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. So I don't know how far you guys travel, but
Well, we were
go.
right up there. Well, we were right up there for the Roadhouse Rock Island Paracon. That was like right on the state border of like Illinois, Iowa. Like that's like the closest we got, but we got invited to go back. So we'll be back there in October.
nice.
And
that was a really big Paracon actually. It's
very
growing.
big.
It is
Yeah.
big. I was very surprised.
Super haunted location. We were very gracious enough to film the night before there. And man, was that place active. It was wild.
Yeah.
Wait till the episode comes out.
Yeah, that was pretty neat stuff there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I
heard it was a great event. Yeah, and I did hear stories from people. That place was crazy haunted. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was good. And so everybody, we try to be a little different. We don't like to be like cookie cutter, ask the same old questions. But one question that I always like to ask because it's very fascinating is like, to ask the person, how did you actually get into paranormal investigating, right? Because it's not something that it's a we're all a little different and how we got into it. Like Eric's story is very lame. My story, he's like, I didn't believe it. I wanted to see if it was real, so I went.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then he just got addicted and couldn't stop. Me, I actually had a friend that thought their house was haunted, and I went to go there when they weren't home to kind of do my first investigation, and it just blew my mind. So kind of like tell us, how that started with you.
Yeah. Well, I love your yin and yang story, really, because one of you is the skeptic and one went in the believer. So that's why you get along and you balance each other out, right? So
yeah.
Sometimes I get that. Mine's kind of a classic story you probably hear from a lot of people when you ask them this question, how they get into it. I had my first paranormal experience. And I guess it was kind of like you, Mike, but I was young. I was 16 years old and I had this experience that I've never had before and haven't had since, and I can't explain it. It didn't get me into ghost hunting right away, but it did get me interested in the paranormal and supernatural and everything spooky. And I just started from that young age, just reading and watching things. And, I watched all the great shows, growing up, In Search of, and, all those great shows. I think I just dated myself, but that's okay. And then I think
sounds like you're saying my lame story.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
So no, that's okay. So yeah, my story is kind of lame then, because it's the classic, I had my first experience. I can't explain it. Let's explore it and find out what's going on.
I want more. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, I wanted more. I was like, what the heck just happened to me? I don't know. Let's find out. And I still don't have an answer.
Right. And then all these years later, right, we still got more questions than we do answers.
Yes.
It's almost like the farther and more we advance in the field, the more questions and more things that we end up, with. Like it's wild.
Yeah. You're exactly right. You answer one question and then 3 more questions pop up.
I'm always that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's thrilling.
That happened to me. That happened to me last Saturday night.
Oh, did it? What happened?
Well, I don't know if you remember our co-founder, Scotty Marla Burns. She passed away early this year, and we were just hanging out we had a favorite location where we hang out and investigate, have good times at a local haunted cemetery. Why not?
Sure.
So we were out there, and our other co-founder, Zap, he's like, if you guys are coming, bring a portal box because you're going to be able to talk to Scotty. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So I brought my portal box, and I'm like still in disbelief, but I was just hearing her saying things that she would normally say, and it sounded just like her voice. I mean,
and that was actually the last time that we saw
investigated with her.
Investigated with her. Last time we saw her out of the hospital was at
Really?
that location. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was a pretty sad thing that went on. But yeah, I mean, I didn't go. I wasn't there. But yeah. So Eric, tell us a little more about that. I mean, because Zap posted, like, we have a private chat for the team. Like, we have like 30 people on the team, and that's what he said. He's like, if you guys are coming, bring a portal box, because Zap lives nearby and he goes there a lot. So I mean, you actually believe that you heard a response from Scotty?
It's just like one of those things where, like, I know I heard it, but I don't know if I believe it. It's just really weird. It sounded just like her, but
I feel like if anywhere,
I'm always second guessing myself.
Right?
Yeah, I can't. She's been investigating that place for at least 8 years,
and she knows it would be a good place to find us. Because we go there as a team a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was just like she was saying, like, the same sarcasm that she normally says. Like Chessie was there, and like they always like drop F-bombs, and Chessie's like, I miss you, Scotty. And she was like, F you, Chessie, or something like that. And it was just like her raspy voice. It was just really weird.
Wow. It just kind of goes to show how intelligent ghosts really are, like she knew you were going to be there.
She told us she was going to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
that's really cool. That's one thing I love about haunted locations at some time. And this is happening to me. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but this is happening to me more and more when you go to a haunted location expecting to communicate with such and such and this person and that person who died here and this person that died here. And the people that you find are the ones who are hitchhikers. They tagged along with you. They are your past loved ones. And they follow you around.
Yeah, or you're opening yourself up in that location for communication, and then other spirits and stuff pop in.
Mhm.
Well, if they were people and they are body challenge, I mean, you talk to them like
Body
people.
challenge.
You go there often enough, like I do, like at certain places. It gets to the point where like they know you, like to the point where they say your name.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got documentation of that. It's just like it's funny because like the Gold Coast Railroad Museum is probably the place I've investigated the most out of any place I've been to. And I always compare that to like if I go like to Waverly Hills or something like that. But like then when I think about it, I can't really compare it because I've been there so many times. Like the spirits have like acclimated to me, And I'm in sales. People like, I'm one of those type of people where like strangers come up and start talking to me randomly. I just can't get rid of it, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna come over here and talk to me. He's not gonna leave me alone.
Right.
But like, yeah. But what am I talking about, Mike?
You're a likable guy,
on.
and people always talk to you. So
the living and the dead talk to you is what
exactly.
Basically what your point is. You want more dead people to talk to you, but unfortunately you find more living people who are coming up to talk to you.
Exactly. You just got to be more convincing for me, damn it.
Right.
I want to see you.
Right.
I want to feel you. No, I'm just kidding, but I want to see you. Full body apparition.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that like the gold
calling
standard?
out all spirits?
Yes.
Yeah, it just seems like it's audio is always
the way to go.
The way to go. It's just visual stuff is very, very tough.
It is.
Have you been to Maryland to the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum?
Yeah. So let me tell you a funny story so that everyone can listening to the chat can make fun of me and poke fun of me for a little bit. So
let me tell
I'm
you
one
something.
of those. Right. That's okay. It's all good. I'm one of those weird paranormal geeks. I actually keep an Excel spreadsheet of all the places that I've been. And I'm up to, I just counted the other day because I just had to add some things. I'm up to 304.
Nice.
And they're not all places I investigated. Some of them are haunted locations. I just went for like a daytime tour or like a haunted daytime tour or whatever. So I haven't.
That. It's okay.
I counted. I put it on my darn spreadsheet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mike, I'm sorry. What was your question? I started to geek out on my spreadsheet.
No, the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum.
Yeah. So in Baltimore. So I try to make a yearly or a bi-yearly pilgrimage down there because it's where he was buried. He spent a lot of quality time there. He wrote some really good stories there. He lived some good times there, some not so good times there. And most people who, even if you're not familiar with Poe, you do know that that's where he died and he's buried. So I have been down I go to his grave all the time and I do my little pilgrimage down. I've been to the house. I know the folks who run the house, Poe Baltimore. They're great people. And they are convinced that maybe Poe's ghost may be floating around inside the house.
Maybe an event coming soon. In the
I would well, trust me, I would love to. Yeah, you know what, Eric? I might have to add that to my bucket list of things to try to work out for 2025.
Do it.
To investigate.
I'll help you. If you need help, I'll do anything.
You guys are more than you guys.
I'll drive up there. We'll go together and talk to them.
Absolutely. You guys are
always We're here to raise money for you.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's what I would do. I would probably, I would have it as a fundraiser for the Poe House so they can keep their lights on. Let's do a ghost hunt. And so, yeah, thank you for that. I don't know why that's like one of those no-brainer things. I don't know why I never thought about that, but yeah, maybe I'll plan that for next year.
I'm going to remind you.
Okay. Please shoot me a message.
And we were talking last time we saw you that we need to do something down here one day.
Yes, we do. Well, I do.
South Florida is neglected. There's no paracons or anything down here.
I know. Now so remind me again, you guys are in two different parts of Florida or?
Well, we cover, we South West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. We cover those areas.
Okay.
Mike and I live in the middle of everything.
Okay. But that part of Florida is underrepresented paranormally.
Oh yeah, big time.
No, there are no paracons. Absolutely none. There's Comic-Cons, but no paracons.
And what's weird is there's a lot of people that are very interested in it because we host public events.
We sell them out.
We sell them out every time. I mean, it's not that they're not huge because but 60 people, 50 people, 30 people, and
We want it intimate. We do small groups.
Okay.
And they're selling out every time, so that means that there's a lot of people interested, and the money doesn't go to us. It goes to the historical societies and these places, because we help to raise money for the historical societies, like you said, keeps the lights on, keep them running, and then it gets us out there in front of the people. And our main goal at War Party Paranormal is to help people doing residential cases. So it kind of gets us in front of people, and they get comfortable with us. They can come talk to us and tell us what's going on.
These locations are affordable too. They're very, pretty much very cheap.
That's cool.
I'm
going to hop on a plane and come down, and you guys can show me the sites, and we'll do some ghost hunting in South Florida.
Ghost hunting and mojitos. I was gonna say mimosas.
I'm not gonna say no to either of those two things. So. But seriously, so really, is that all it takes? Is just somebody stepping up and saying, "I'm going to host a Paracon"?
That's it, and they're ready, and I know a couple of them are ready. Like, cause
I've been talking to them about it, but I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Like, I got so much going on with the Haunted Files, the team, my own life.
And plus, it's not something that it's not something that we do all the time. I mean, as far as getting to running to the Paracon, and get vendors and doing all that stuff, we need somebody with some kind of like experience, like yourself, doing that. But yeah, I feel like
start out small.
Gold Coast is an amazing place. It's huge. It's definitely huge. It used to be a naval air base, and it would carry the big airships, like the big blimps that would patrol the coast, bombing the German U-boats during World War II. 6
blimps in one hangar. Can you believe that? And they had 3 of them.
Wow.
Largest blimp hangar in the US. Yeah. And it was more of like a secret kind of place, so it wasn't it's not that known. And then 1945 hurricane came through, ripped it all down. It was like 300 cars, 200 airplanes that got destroyed. A bunch of people died, firefighters, like the whole thing caught on fire. And there was like one pillar left from one of the hangars, and it is enormous, right? So they put another hangar up, and in the 80s they turned it into a train museum, a railroad museum. So they used the tracks that were in there that they used to scoot the airships in and the blimps, and now it's full of historical rail cars. And they even have the Ferdinand Magellan, which was like Air Force One, but it was rail car one for the presidential cart, all bulletproof glass. And I mean, in each one of these carts, like Eric would say, has their own personality, And there's a
segregation car, a military hospital car, medic car,
Jim Crow car.
Wow.
Yeah. Then you got actual remaining remnants of the actual hangar where we get activity from that World War II time period.
Yeah. Places like that are great because obviously that place is a shining example of layer upon layer upon layer of history.
Yeah.
And you could go back a million times to investigate and get something different every time, which it seems like you guys have done a lot there and investigated a lot. So
and it would be a perfect venue because all the trains are open for people to go in and out.
Yeah.
And you can
walk
around. It's like outdoor, indoor, it's outdoor, but with a big hangar.
Yeah.
It's like it's an open air hangar, and then inside of it are 4 rails of cars that go all the way out to the train yard, like further out. So it's humongous.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, fellas. Perfect venue for a South Florida Paracon, right? Let's get her done.
Let's do it. And we should do it. It'd be great.
That's cool.
I'll send Franny to help you.
Yeah, that's cool. Help, Franny. We're waving the white flag. We need your help, girl.
Exactly.
So it's actually talking about keeping the lights on.
You gotta pay some bills.
That's right. We're getting to the point where we got to run a few ads from our sponsors, and we'll be right back, guys.
What is up, my paranormal peeps? You may be wondering why we're holding something like these in our hand, and my buddy's going to tell you all about it.
The reason that we have this paranormal equipment in our hand is because we're giving a big shout out to the Ghost Hunter store, one of our sponsors. They're your one-stop shop for everything paranormal.
That's right, and you may have seen some of these equipment on your favorite paranormal TV shows.
Exactly, especially the Haunted Files on Paraflix.
Mike's got that right.
All right, guys, so check them out, and if you use the code word Ghost Gone Wild,
Not Girls Gone Wild.
Ghost Gone Wild, in your checkout, you'll get a discount on your purchase. Thank you, guys.
Peace. Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Mike from War Party Paranormal Radio Show and the Haunted Files on Paraflix. And Mike, we got something pretty cool, right?
Heck yeah. So, I want to talk about Haunted Happy Hour, spirit-infused coffee. They have many different flavors, all kinds of different stuff. They're great people. They have a podcast with great content, and they got an amazing product here. So, this one actually is Sweet Rum Bliss. And what's amazing about this, you order this product and you also get 1 month free subscription to Paraflix. So you can watch us.
Yeah, and you might be feeling dead inside, but get caffeinated with Haunted Happy Hour.
All right.
Are you ready to explore the unknown?
Eventually.
Brace yourself for a journey into the supernatural. Paraflix Paranormal Plus, your gateway to the paranormal, all-in-one streaming service. Dare to explore, dare to believe, dare to stream alone.
It does not want us here.
Sign up now and embark on a supernatural adventure like never before. Paraflix Paranormal Plus, the universal home of paranormal.
All right, guys. So just a quick shout out there to Paraflix. And if you guys are unfamiliar with that and what it is, it's a streaming platform that you could download on your smart TV or your streaming, any kind of streaming device, things of that nature, iPhone, Android, it's all there. They have some free content on there also, and then they have a free trial, and it's all paranormal, different episodes, different movies, videos, music videos, and we are on there with a show called The Haunted Files. It's Eric and I and some of the other team members investigating different locations. And if you use the code word The Haunted Files 25 when you sign up, you get a 25% off your annual subscription. And I think it's only like $4 a month anyway before the discount. So
It's nothing.
it's affordable. It's like a cup of coffee, right? Even
Yeah.
less. So also we have season 1 and 2, and we're filming season 3 now. And this is one of the episodes from season 2 that we're going to play a quick trailer from, and we'll let you check it out. Deep in the Florida Everglades sits a once secret NASA contracted rocket test facility. Built in 1963 for the sole purpose of testing different types of rocket fuels to launch astronauts to the moon. Now a hotspot for urban explorers and local python hunters, this facility is also still being used for satanic worship and occult practices.
We found actually like probably about a 50-foot pentagram, red spray painted pentagram.
Yeah, let's get this out of that room. There's so many upside down crosses and shit, dude.
In the middle of the pentagram was a 3-legged chair, and at the base of that chair was what looked like a pretty large blood stain.
What's the odds of this thing saying Satan, when we're here, specifically looking to see if there's anything dark here to confirm what the python hunters found?
Let me ask you this.
What was that?
What happened?
It was a moan, a loud moan.
I got it on here.
Whoa!
I heard that too.
Wow.
Tell you what, we had to do an intensive cleansing after that.
Yeah, like that was our second attempt trying to film that thing. The first attempt, like, it kept us from going there. It seemed like it was crazy.
That place looks badass, but at the same time, yeah, I was kind of getting the willies. I was like, oh my gosh, look at that place. That looks crazy.
I mean, I know we don't want to like exaggerate about demons and stuff, but there's some satanic shit going on there. They're obviously doing satanic worship in Santeria.
It's one thing to embellish and to whatever, but that place is dark.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
There's something dark going on in this place. There was a couple murders there, some suicides, also, and then
missing bodies.
Yeah, and
Franny fainted.
She did.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the way out, she fainted and got sick.
No, on the way there, she passed out right next to a pentagram sign.
Yeah, she didn't even notice. She was leaning on this rock, like not feeling good, and there was a pentagram on the rock.
Yeah.
So the Python cowboy was out there, and he's the one that stumbled upon all this dark stuff. And
we got a python epidemic here, and that's a prime spot for python hunters.
Okay.
That's what you gotta worry about too. Big old pythons.
Yeah.
So he gave us permission to use his parts of his video, and we put it in there from when he originally found the stuff, and then we went back out and investigated it. I mean, we've been there, I wouldn't say a lot, but we've been there a handful of times. But when we were trying to film there is when it said like it was not
preventing us to get.
It was like preventing us.
Yeah. So do you guys find that it wasn't necessarily the residual spirits that were there? There was stuff that was either conjured or brought there from other people.
I think so.
That's what I think so. Yeah.
Because people go out there and they do a lot of rituals and a lot of dark stuff, and because Jack Parsons.
It takes 3 miles to get out there because it's gated. So you have to walk or bike 3 miles to get to that facility.
Wow.
Yeah. And Jack Parsons was the father of rocketry, and he was into the occult. And I think that's why people, and he was, friends with Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, his disciple.
Okay. I'm finding that more and more that, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about it. That you go to these, it kind of circles back around to what we were talking about earlier. How you go to these haunted locations expecting to bump into the spirits that are haunting that place, and really it's hitchhikers, loved ones or whatever who are there.
Yeah.
But also the opposite is true. It's stuff, people who go there doing nefarious things and doing bad juju and bringing their negative energy. And I'm actually finding that more and more. There was a place. I forget the name of the bridge, but it was during the Gettysburg Bash. If you guys are familiar with the
I know what you're talking about.
Bash, there is this bridge, and I wish I could remember the name of the bridge. I think it's called the Eisenhower Bridge. And so I went out there one night with a friend to go check it out because we heard it was haunted, and turns out that it was just an innocent bridge, and nothing happened there. Nobody jumped to their death. No babies died there. The typical bridge stories. It was really just, some punk kids who just went there and started doing satanic stuff and brought all this negative juju there. And I left that bridge, guys, and for a couple of days, I was off kilter for a couple of days. I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel good for a couple of days. And it had nothing to do with any spirits. It was just all stuff that was conjured and brought there from other people. And that just kind of pisses me off. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
yeah, no, I mean it's definitely not good. It's not good. It can be dangerous. It can be bad, and and I think that if you know how to deal with it, it's not going to be that bad.
We didn't push it. Like when we knew like shit was going down, we were like, okay, we got to start wrapping this up and leave here because I zoned out for like a few
that was weird. That was weird.
Never happened to me.
So there was this, and I've been investigating with Eric for a long time, and this is the only time I've ever seen anything like this with him. Okay. He was sitting in on like a lump of cement, like in this building, and it was like in another room, and we're all talking, and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna go
room."
Yeah, like out of here. We'll walk out here and we'll do some EVPs. And Eric goes, okay. And then like we all walk away and I turn around and Eric's still sitting there and he's got his head down and he's kind of just looking at the ground, just not saying anything. And I'm like, hey, you all right? You all right, buddy? I'm like, we're gonna go. And he just didn't respond. And then Joe walks up and he goes, what's up with him? And I'm like, I don't know. And we both look at each other. I'm like, that's weird, right? And he's like, yeah. And he starts calling him, Eric, you all right? Nothing. And then like a second later, he just kind of snaps out. Like, yeah, man, what's up, dude? Like, yeah, okay.
Oh.
And like and he didn't even, he like lost that time. Like he didn't even remember that happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought I was looking at my recorder, maybe deleting some files or something. And then,
but no, you didn't even have
happened.
the recorder. The recorder was down. Like you were just kind of spaced out. It was very strange.
Okay. So it's not like a spirit overtook you or anything. You literally just kind of blanked out and zoned out for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know. I don't know why or what or something, but it was definitely odd.
Yeah. I
was trying to scare him. No, I did get my ass cleansed though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So is that a type of place you guys would go back to?
Oh yeah.
Really? Okay. Because after once and done from a place like that's that dark, I don't know. I might be once and done for me. I'm not quite sure.
This weekend it's getting down to a nice chilly 50 degrees here in South Florida. That'd be perfect time.
Yeah, we don't go there during the summertime. It's too hot.
The bugs are crazy.
Yeah. And you said that's in the Everglades, right?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Everglades for a second? Because
absolutely anything you want to know.
Gosh, now this is months ago now. I watched a documentary and I don't even remember the title, guys. I think it was on Netflix and it was about you guys probably know the whole story. It was about this airplane that went down in the Everglades back in, I think it was the 1980s and everyone died except maybe
Flight 401. Yeah.
Eastern Flight 401.
Yeah. And I had no idea. Like I'm just not familiar with the geography down there. I didn't realize that plane accident had happened. Didn't
not the
realize,
only one.
I'm sure I know that there. So what's going on in the Everglades? I mean, are planes going down just because of the energy there? Is it a fluke? Like what's going on down there, guys?
Some people think the western corner of the Bermuda Triangle. Some people think that might have something to do with it.
Oh,
and there's also a story that the indigenous people put a curse on that area as well. But also, I mean, what's very funny is that you brought that up, right? So, because we did an episode on the Value Jet 592, which was almost the same situation in almost the same location, a mile away.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a random thought. We were like, hey, let's go check this place out. Didn't even think it was haunted or anything.
And they have a big memorial and it's shaped in like a pyramid and it's pointing at the direction of where the aircraft, and when it hit it came nosedive straight down into the muck. And it just disintegrated. And they said that when they had the corners out there, they were dealing with alligators and everything.
The muck
they said
sucked the whole airplane into the Everglades.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I almost wish I had the trailer for that one loaded up.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. But there's been a lot of plane crashes in that whole area. I mean, there was also a lot of military stuff going on out there years ago, secret bases and stuff, and who knows what's
actually I was in aviation school and I actually witnessed out in the Everglades, well, not witnessed, but like there was a airplane accident and I flew right after the plane crashed and I just saw the whole plane in pieces. And then seconds later I see Miami Air Rescue like flying like towards it, coming towards my direction. It was just like the most eerie feeling. Really weird.
I bet.
I kept flying though. It didn't scare me.
Oh, well, gee, you don't scare easily, do you?
No.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And the one thing the documentary said, not to get too weird, but they said that, a lot of people died on impact, but a lot of people just because of the muck, as you called it, Mike, a lot of the people just drowned because they were still in their seatbelts. Mm-hmm. They couldn't free themselves and it was like quicksand. And they, instead of dying on impact, just from blunt force trauma, they drown. And so that's its own kind of whole new level of trauma there when you pass away that way. So I can imagine
Well,
the energy there.
Well,
is just,
you heard that Eastern, after that crash, took the airplane parts and put them in other airplanes, and those
yes,
airplanes were experiencing paranormal activity.
yes. I think I saw, and I forget the name of that documentary too.
That one I think was the Ghosts of Flight
Flight
401.
401.
Yes, how
Yeah.
they repurpose plane parts, and then they're haunted because the plane parts are repurposed. I mean, that to me is just fascinating. It kind of tells you that energy can attach to objects.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, for sure.
That's a whole other podcast, really.
Yeah,
it is.
and the I feel that the flight 592, the value jet flight, that we investigated, that it just happened so quick that maybe they didn't even know they were dead. You know what I mean? Like, because it just happened. So I actually loaded it up if you want to check it out, because it's has
show
a lot.
Show it. I want to see it.
Show it.
All right.
Good evening. As searchers wade through the muck of the Everglades, looking for any signs of the DC-9 that crashed there, and the 109 people who died.
Search crews make their way through the muck and swampy water. The wreckage scattered in bits and pieces everywhere. Among that wreckage, the remains of the 110 victims on board. The toughest job, removing those remains into a temporary morgue near the crash site.
So we have the EDI, which is going off like crazy. Look at that. I have no electronics on me.
What ball's going on, Barrett?
What the?
We can help find her. She also didn't know your name.
Something fly. I heard fly in there.
I'll tell you one thing: our ass got torn up by mosquitoes.
Yeah, it was so bad.
If you watch the video, you see mosquitoes swarming all over us.
In the infrared light from the night vision, there's so many, and it's so bad.
Yeah, God, you thought the muck and the mire was bad. No, the mosquitoes, the skeeters will get you.
Yeah, it was
the
bad.
things we do for ghost hunting, we don't care.
I'm telling you,
we even had a disembodied voice there in that little area.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad for those poor souls, like you said, Mike. That, they probably died so quickly. They didn't see it coming. They don't know what happened to them, and and their poor souls are probably stuck there. And I think
we got a lost child like through the spirit box.
Yeah, I think you asked
really?
like, what are you doing? And it said like, we got a response like, looking for my mother or something.
Oh,
yeah, looking
gosh.
for my mom or something like that.
That's just heartbreaking. And I think it's
and I'm hoping it's residual. Like I don't know. I hope they're not stuck there.
I hope so too, for their sake, that they've crossed over. Although I don't know why they would choose to, stay there, but
unless
I think
unless they're confused, or
they're still confused and they're lost and they're stuck. And I think it's kind of our job too, as ghost hunters, not to preach or anything, but to kind of help them. What I mean?
Tried, we did
Yeah.
that. We did help and tried to get them to move on. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I know that's a part of what you guys do with every investigation, and
Right.
I think that's just our moral. I think that's our moral obligation too as ghost hunters, and I think we lose that. Not to go off on a tangent, but I think a lot of times we get so wrapped up in kind of the joy of ghost hunting and all the equipment and the fun of it. But at the end of the day, like I think Eric, you said earlier, they're just humans.
Yeah. I'm curious. I want to know why they're there. I'm always asking, like, well, what are you still doing here? Do you need help?
Right. There's a whole universe out there for you.
Yeah.
Why the heck would you hang out here? Go hang out,
Unless it's like a place that's incredibly beautiful, a place that, plays close to their heart and they have fond memories of. I could see them going back to a place like that.
Sure.
So
there's actually a theory too, right? That maybe it's not ghosts from. Maybe, they're saying they're getting close to with the theories that they're putting out there mathematically, saying that there's a multiverse, right? And maybe it's just another dimension where they survived that crash, or because if there's every dimension is simultaneously happening, but a little different. Everything's a little different in the dimensions. Right. So if that's bleed over from other dimensions too, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, Chanel, our producer, asked if they ever retrieved any bodies, and like wasn't that one clip from the news where the coroner was saying like the biggest piece they found was like a part of a knee or something like that.
Yeah, everything was just kind of obliterated.
Really?
So bits and pieces.
I know that's what happened out on 9/11. That's what happened out in Shanksville, and that place is kind of near and dear to me because Shanksville, one of the 9/11 crash sites, is only 2 hours from me, and that's what happened there too. Unfortunately, is that the plane went down. Very similar situation. Like nobody knew it was coming. It happened so suddenly.
I remember.
And, to this day, you can go to that, and I highly recommend, guys, if you guys haven't ever been there, to go to that. It's a national park now. To visit that, and it's one of the best museums in the world I've ever been to. It just really honors the victim. The Flight 93 Museum out in
that's the one that went down in the field, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it was a very similar situation where basically everybody disintegrated on site. They were so buried, there was no muck or mire, it was just dirt. But there was just no way that they could safely recover all the different body parts. So the decision was made. They contacted all the families and said, look, we could spend weeks and months and possibly years digging up the remains, every tooth, from your loved one, but does it make more sense to leave them in place? So everyone who died on that plane is still buried in the ground. They did not retrieve any body parts. So all the victims of Flight 93, they're still where they died.
And there's a building there now, like a museum, you said?
There's a museum there. And the way it's shaped, it comes to a V. And when you stand at that V, you can see what they saw as they were going down.
Oh wow, that's like the V at where we were filming.
Yeah, you see where I flew my drone through.
Okay,
and it had like a triangle pointing.
Each pillar represents a passenger, and it's all pointed to like a V, like an arrow.
Yeah, that's really same situation. And it's just heartbreaking.
I saw an interesting documentary about 9/11 the other night. I think it was on Netflix, and they're still trying to locate every single body, and people are like they're still discovering bodies like little bone fragments and matching up DNA. And people are finding out now, like, hey, they just located my husband, for example. But what I thought was incredible was like they found out that there were more bone fragments on the surrounding buildings on top of the roof. That they started investigating that, but like they dug up the whole like ground zero, and they like even to this day are like sifting through all the dirt looking for fragments and trying to like locate every single person.
Yeah,
that's pretty incredible, right? After over 20 years.
Yeah,
still working on that.
They're still working on it. God bless them.
I forget the name of it, but they got a special department. I forgot what it's called. Something to do with 9/11, but they're still working on it, and they're still going to keep doing it until they locate everybody.
I've heard people investigating it, and to me, I don't think it's in good taste. Like the 9/11 memorial. I don't know. I mean, that's just me personally. I would feel like uncomfortable like doing it. Because I remember like watching that and how horrible it was. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't care if people do. It doesn't bother me. Like whatever. But like me personally, I don't think I would want to do that.
You mean visit them? You mean?
No, it's like investigate it. Like
investigate
the ground zero.
I too struggle with that because places like crash sites or where a lot of traumatic dark stuff happened, I sometimes struggle with that. I'm like, do I really want to dig
I
up
just
the
feel
past,
like it would like I mean, like on our Netflix thing, I mean on our Paraflix thing about the like this crash, it was headline news and stuff, but it wasn't like 9/11. There's so many people that we could possibly offend, that I just wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I can understand that. It is a bit of a moral conundrum, really.
Right.
Yeah.
And
if you do investigate it, you should do it in a respectful manner.
Super respectful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's
we always do.
Everywhere. Oh yeah, absolutely. Everywhere you go, we should have reverence for the people that died there and the lives and what they did, and honor them any way that we can.
I got to get into compliance mode though. Yeah, we got compliance here, Katie. At
Compliance.
KGRA. Yeah, I got to follow the rules.
Okay.
All right. So our listeners on the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network, you'll be heading off to your next show. There you go. You got it. And if you want to continue watching or listening to our show, you can check us out on the War Party Paranormal YouTube channel. And for our folks who are in the chat, if you're like one of those people that are stuck in traffic and want to listen to the radio, check out KGRA Digital Broadcasting. You can listen to it on iHeart. Can you believe the War Party Paranormal radio shows on iHeart? How crazy is that? But yeah.
And they got a lot of great shows. They have stuff about cryptids, spirituality, and UFOs. MUFON has their own radio show on there, so they have a lot of different content, a lot of good stuff. And for alternate radio, definitely check out KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network.
Thanks for closing that for me, Mike.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Now we can continue. Now we can break all the rules.
There you go. Compliance.
Compliance out the window.
See ya.
Spooktacular.
Right. Bring out the 4-letter words. No, I'm just kidding.
Only if you feel like it.
Right.
So, yeah. No, I mean, do you have you written some books and things that are out there? Tell us about some of that.
So I really have spent a lot of time promoting kind of the events that I'm hosting, but I do write books. And of course I have visuals because, I'm a visual person. So I have, I've written 6 books now, 2 that are available. So this one is Lake of Fire.
More than I've read.
What's that?
You've written more than I've read.
Oh, good. That's okay. So I have that one, and I have The City of Lost Secrets. And so both of them are available on Amazon. If anyone is a reader and is interested in spooky books, there you go.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Check that out. Make sure you head over to Amazon and scope it out.
My website.
And give us your website and where people could find you, because it's kind of towards the end of the show here. So we want people to know where they could find you, where they could find upcoming events and your books, all that fun stuff.
Sure. So tamerlanemedia.com is my website. Mostly everything that you need to know about me is on there. All the events that I'm booking, I'm slowly getting caught up. I'm not happy with the website, but you know what? It gets the job done. So go on there and check that out. My books for sale on there as well. Links to get those. My events are on there. And on social media, I'm on
spell that right?
Tamerlane. No, Tamerlane. So replace the I with an A.
Edit.
Tamerlane.
Lane is better than lean.
Tamerlane. Yeah, no, it's a weird word.
Bam. Wait. What did I do?
You broke it.
Bam.
There it is. Yep. TamerlaneMedia.com.
All right,
so and then on social media, I'm sure if you just look up Katie McVay, that's my personal page. Katie McVay Paranormal. Tamerlane Media is my business page, and then I'm on TikTok, Poe Girl Paranormal, and I'm on Instagram as Poe Girl Paranormal as well.
Perfect.
Awesome.
There you have it.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you check out Katie and her upcoming events. And for me, if you want to check out my personal stuff, you can check out my website, FLAparanormalresearcher.com. FLA like Florida, Paranormal Researcher. And that links out to all my social media accounts. And it also has a link to the Haunted Files page and upcoming stuff that we are getting into, and some information on the War Party Paranormal Radio Show and the Haunted Files. And there's also links that if you need help, it'll direct you to a link out to another page that has all the other reputable paranormal groups throughout different states. But yeah, and the link to War Party Paranormal, obviously. So, Eric?
And you can find me at Ghost Hunter of South Florida on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Not really working on my YouTube, but maybe I will sometime soon. Busy with other things. And we do have some events coming up at Yesteryear Village, December 10th. We're having an interactive event. Unfortunately, no one else can go because it's sold out, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. If you snooze, you lose. So there you go. But no worries. We got more events coming. And I just got an email from the Old Davies Schoolhouse Museum, and I don't know if this is right, but I'm going to confirm it because I don't know. Mike, do you want to spend your New Year's Eve at a haunted location? No. I'm sorry. I got the date wrong. January 31st is our next event.
Okay.
I was thinking December 31st. I was like, that'd be cool. New Year's Eve at a haunted location. Future event, right, Katie?
Bring my
That's
party.
right. That's right.
Yep.
I'm all
Bringing
for
the
it.
new year with ghosts. There
Yes.
you go. And also in the future, be on the lookout because you're going to see us together as well.
That's right.
Yes.
We'll be doing some future stuff together. So yeah, definitely check that out. And hey, I definitely appreciate you, Katie. It was a blast. Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
So much fun. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for all your listeners too, who were, chatting over there on the side. I was peeking over there. So thank you to your listeners. Love you guys.
Go to her events.
Yes.
Buy your books.
Guys. Yeah.
Thank you. And have a great night. Thank you. And sorry about rescheduling with you last time.
Oh gosh, don't apologize. Illness and health always comes first.
Blame it on Mike.
Yeah. I'm used to it. All right. Thank you again. Right. And we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.